first senior out tonight will be number 1, Colton Hale. Colton will be escorted by his mom and dad, Ginger and Will Hale. Colton's a 4-year player in the baseball program and plans to go to Panola, then transfer to a D1 or get drafted after that. Colton's favorite baseball memory is messing with tape and the bus rides back from the games, also getting choked out by Kate Henry his freshman year on the bus. Colton would like for us to remember that Tate Truman and Jason Sylvie were the players he looked up to coming into high school. Ladies and gentlemen, Colton Hale. Our second senior out tonight is number 2, Kason Brooks. Kason is escorted tonight by Delisa and Corey Brooks, along with Kylan Kanan Brooks as well. Colton's also a 4-year player in the baseball program and plans to attend Midwestern State and study sports marketing. Kason's favorite memory is Coach Hubbard throwing the iPad in the locker room. If you know, you know. A fun fact about Kason is baseball has always been his first love. Ladies and gentlemen, Kason Brooks. Our third senior out tonight is number 3, Braden Williams. Braden is escorted by his mom, Nikki Jonigan. Braden is also a 4-year player in the baseball program and plans to become a neurologist. I'm sorry, a neurosurgeon. Braden's favorite baseball memory is freshman year lunch. If you know, then you know. A fun fact about Braden is he posts on TikTok and streams on Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, Braden Williams. Our next senior out tonight is number 4, Colt Barnhart. Colt is escorted by his mom, Haley Murphy, and dad, Joe Barnhart. Colt's also a 4-year player in the baseball program and plans on attending SFA and majoring in marketing. Colt's favorite memory are the bus rides home from games. And a fun fact is when he went to the 2016 World Series for KDDA. Ladies and gentlemen, Colt Barnhart. Our 5th senior tonight is number 6, Kason Edney. Kason is escorted by his dad, J.D. Edney, and Mandy Edney, his mom, Chansley Edney, along with John Edney and Lois Edney. Kason's also a 4-year player in the baseball program and will be going to Howard College to play baseball and study marketing. Kason's favorite baseball memory is listening to Wagon Wheel on the bus rides home. He also wants us to know that he can beat up Coach Pitt anytime, anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, Kason Edney. Our 6th senior tonight is number 7, Kason Henry. Kason will be escorted by his dad, Danny Henry, and mom, Brandy Henry. Kason's also a 4-year player of Kilgore baseball. He plans to attend Mid-America Christian University to play baseball and study business and sports marketing. Kason's favorite memory is going to Jasper, running between everyone's hotel room all night. Ladies and gentlemen, Kason Henry. Our 7th senior is number 10, Dre Sanders. Dre's escorted by Tara and Nick Sanders. This is Dre's first year in the baseball program, and he plans to play collegiate football at Midwestern State University. His favorite baseball memory is when we played at the Jasper tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, Dre Sanders. Our 8th senior for the night is number 20, Brody Benson. Brody is escorted tonight by Troy and Kelly Tanner and Nikki and Emily Benson. Brady's a 4-year player at Kilgore and plans to attend Grayson College for baseball and transfer after graduation. His favorite memory is when Tate Truman left his socks on the fan in the Jasper tournament sophomore year. A fun fact, had Tommy John last year. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Brody Benson. And finally tonight, our senior trainer is Neely. Neely will be escorted by Cody Pham, her dad, and Jessica Lee, her mom. Neely's been in the program for 2 years and is attending Texas A&M University and majoring in public health. I want to be an orthodontist or a physical therapist, she says. Her favorite baseball memory is Kason Edney's face when she finally figured out how to wrap his shoulder after 2 years of trying. fun fact is I love how the dugout conversations are better than the games. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Neely.
All right, well, there you have it. So, again, it's a senior night here in Kilgore at Driller Park, and a great way to say thank you to the 8 senior ball players. Again, 7 of those guys start in the lineup, whether hitting or playing the field. So a very experienced team here in Kilgore. And, again, a great night to say thank you to those seniors and to recognize them along with the senior trainer. And just a cool night and a cool way to start. So we're kind of starting a little bit early tonight to try to get that in case some families wanted to tune in or if anybody wanted to see that. So we just want to say thank you and welcome again. My name is Jeremy Diamond, and I'll be joined tonight by my partner in crime, Jeremy Titsworth. He's just having a walk-in from the 600-foot walk out there to center field, trying to get the camera angles just right. Ooh. That's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Well, I think the biggest thing, though, is just the fact of all the rain we've had and the tripod sinking in the mud.
Yeah,
there's a lot of obstacles, but hopefully we overcame for a good shot.
Yeah, so Jeremy and I have had the blessing. I feel like the last 2 or 3 Tuesdays of being together here and following this team, and we've had a few times we've been in Cumberland and we've been in Gilmer, and I feel like we've kind of gotten a chance to hang out and getting to know these guys a little bit. And again, it's been a super fun team to watch all year, and their playoff seeding is set. They're going to be big school number 1.
Okay.
And so tonight is a chance to just wrap up. And again, like, you can say your seating is set.
Yeah.
But who's across the dugout from you? It's not just anybody.
No.
It's the Carthage Bulldogs, right? And so this is a night for bragging rights, right? When you have the same mascot, you got similar colors, like, and you're not separated far right, and you both had this success you've had athletically in all levels. Like, this is a big matchup, and so we saw on Tuesday, last Friday, we saw a little bit of an experimental lineup, and then tonight is back to the norm. Back to what you normally have seen each week and who's been in there. And so, again, it tells you this game means something.
Yeah, and it's not a bad idea to do a few lineup changes, if you will, prior to playoffs, because it kind of gives you a little bit of idea, like, what can people do possibly down the road if something happens. I've seen some crazy 3-game series. You never know, truthfully, when you get deep in these playoffs.
Well, and especially here when you have, 8 seniors and 7 of the 8 get significant time. Right, they're all in the lineup, and then 6 of those 7 guys are in the field.
Yep.
And so this is a very senior-laden team as far as experience goes on the field, and so you do want to see those things. And so I think when they had the Applegate on the mound on Friday, I think that was huge for them because he's a sophomore, right? And your 3 starting pitchers are all seniors: Hale, Edney, Benson. Right, so you're losing the 3 guys that you've gotten all but that last game's worth of innings in this year, aside from the relief of Adamez, and so you really are going to need to replenish that. And so I think Miles gave them something to look forward to, kind of gave the fans a taste of what's coming down the pipe, and so just a big night for that.
You got it already? You need it? Okay, can I take a picture of yours?
And so anyway, it's been just an exciting thing here. We're going to take a little bit of a break while these teams get warmed up, and it'll give us a chance to kind of make sure we got all our P's and Q's set and all that. But again, we'll take a break, and we'll be right back with more action here on NETSN.
This is where legends rise, on the hardwood, under the lights. From the buzzer beaters to the rim rockers, we bring you the action. Raw, real, relentless. We cover every angle, every story, from the blacktop to the big stage. Your favorite hoopers, your squads, your passion, all in one place, only on NETSN. Live games, exclusive shows. This is the future of basketball culture. 24/7 sports entertainment. This isn't just a network, this is a movement. Welcome to NETSN. Game on.
Okay, your price is like State Farm, but is your coverage?
How we do things might leave you shocked. Our claims aren't done right. Our process is rough. It's tough.
Can I get help from an agent?
No luck.
Do it online?
No luck.
An app?
No luck.
Take my phone. It's easy, I swear. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The championship music continues here on Game Time. Kilgore ISD is proud to support all of our students, whether they are players, cheerleaders, ice steppers, band members, student workers, or fans in the stands. Kilgore ISD believes in our students and their tremendous potential. Go Dogs! Another winning song is coming up here on Game Time. The Kilgore Bulldogs play like champions. This is Game Time.
All right. So, again, welcome back, Jeremy Diamond, Jeremy Titsworth. We're NETSN. And, again, it's Tuesday night here, Kilgore, Texas, in Driller Park. And you can see the starting lineups for both teams. I'm going to go through them real quick just to make sure. But leading off is Kinsler Payne playing shortstop. Batting second, wearing number 4, is Braxton Ritter, and he's playing third. Batting third is number 7, Brooks Soap. He's the catcher. Batting fourth, number 20, is the pitcher, Conrad Shahan. Batting fifth, number 21, Cade Ross, and he's playing first. Batting sixth is the left fielder wearing number 13, Roston Reed. Batting seventh is the center fielder, number 12, Tate Pope. Batting eighth is the right fielder, number 24, Travis Lipsy. And then batting ninth is the second baseman, number 15, Kaysen Rains. And again, your battery tonight is Shahan to Soap. And then for the other side, for the Kilgore Bulldogs, leading off, the usual leadoff man back in his spot, Kaysen Brooks, the center fielder, wearing number 2. Batting second is number 1, Colton Hale, playing shortstop. Batting third, number 5, Kaysen Clayton, playing third base. In the cleanup spot is Kaysen Edney, number 6, where he's playing first tonight. Batting fifth is the DH, number 7, Kaysen Henry. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 11, Miles Applegate. Batting seventh tonight, starting pitcher Brody Benson, wearing number 20. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 9, Jackson Dickey. And then batting ninth is the left fielder, Braden Williams, wearing number 3. And then playing second base is Colt Barnhart. So there's your lineups for both teams. Again, we're just having a little meeting at the mound here, the usual.
There you go.
I think the plan originally was to start a little quicker, but the umpires kind of have a say in that, don't they? You can't do anything without them.
We were all kind of waiting on them, but, hey, it is what it is. But, you talked earlier about this game not having really playoff implications, like for seeding type purposes.
Right.
But you know as well as I do, in any of these other sports, when these two teams have met, especially football, some of those things have been crazy. And I know for a fact there are some Kilgore guys that played football over here. Yeah. So I know there's probably some Carthage guys over there.
Definitely.
So regardless whether it has any meaning to it or not,
it matters.
They still want the win.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's bragging rights, right? And again, it's a district game.
Yeah.
And you don't want to lose a district game. And so,
no.
And especially because Carthage took the 3-1 win in the first game of district to open the season.
Yep.
And again, that's that thing that's kind of weird, but I like it actually in the long run is, typically all season other than the first and the last game, you play the same team on Tuesday and Friday.
Yes.
And the benefit to that is some team can't run their ace against a really good team twice, right? Yep. And so it really forces you to have a depth of the pitching mound, right? Like you can't just have one guy and run off a bunch of district wins. And so I think you've seen that with Kilgore. You've obviously seen that with Spring Hill and then Carthage sitting in the 3 spot.
Yep.
And a lot of things matter tonight because Pine Tree is lurking. Gilmer is lurking. They're both kind of competing for that 5 spot. And I believe Pine Tree, I think, has Spring Hill tonight. Ooh. And so that's a big one. And so that game's going to do a lot towards seeding because they're both technically tied, and I believe they even split in the season. So there's a lot on the line. I saw somebody post some arrows. It was one of those, it looked like the typical, if this guy loses and somebody's left arm falls off, then, like the thing where it's,
it's almost like those playoff seedings whenever it comes down to like even football. Like this person could lose to him, but they have to score 7 points.
Yes.
It's like,
it's a lot of those crazy things where you're like, I'm not even sure what's going on right now. But anyway, so it matters, and it matters anyway, right? And again, rivalries are important, and this is a big one, and so we're excited for it. We hope you are too. Again, thank you for tuning in. We want to say thank you to the Bulldog Baseball Booster Club for inviting us out this season. And then we also want to say thank you to Tara Harris, State Farm agent here in Kilgore, being our primary sponsor. And we will follow this Kilgore team throughout the playoffs. And so we're going to – obviously it goes behind a paywall, and that's not our choosing. It's going to go behind NFHS. But
that's UIL.
Yeah, UIL makes that decision, and we get to broadcast still.
Yep.
But it goes behind them. But keep on the lookout. I'm sure we'll find a discount code we'll share. So. All right. So anyway, they're going to do some lines. I was making sure we weren't going to interrupt the anthem there, but anyway, I think we are too. But yeah, it's that it's that thing. It's unfortunate where sometimes the broadcaster gets the blame for the NFHS thing, and I promise you, we don't want it to cost. And we want it to be free, but they make that decision. But just stay tuned. And, again, if you're not, follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, X, and on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll see posts about playoffs, and we'll try to do everything we can to share out that stuff to let you know when it's it's going to be live and where and all that good stuff.
I think the biggest thing for most people on that is they're just not used to it. Because, streaming in general is something new.
Sure.
But the UIL streaming at playoff times and things like that have been there.
Sure.
Like, that's the biggest thing. It's never been any different. Like, it's always been a charge. But the problem is from after COVID, you got it for free throughout the regular season.
Right,
So people
so it
get
seems
used
so
to
weird.
that.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah. And typically we find a 50% off code or some kind of code where you can get the month or a month and a half, you get a couple months at $7.99 and it kind of tends to pay for itself. But again, we'll cover as many of those games as we can, as many places as we can as they hopefully make a really deep playoff run.
There you go.
And so we'll kind of keep you updated on that and keep you posted, and you'll get to see the stream links for that. They'll be different. Obviously, it won't be YouTube, right? It'll be in FHS. But
I think the biggest thing that excites me about this Kilgore team, though, is the fact that they have multiple outstanding pitchers, but 3 starting pitchers. You mentioned the 3 seniors earlier.
Yeah.
So whether they go into a 1-game, 3-game, whatever it may be, obviously most people want to go a 3-game because they want to see how the things go with pitching. But it don't matter who you pick out of one of those 3.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna face. Any of the 3. Colton Hale threw a no-hitter and had 15 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Had 10 or 11 the next game after that. And then you've got Edney and Benson who are coming in at 6'6", 6'8", and they're throwing from a downhill plane. And they play good defense all year.
Yes.
And again, I think, and they do a good job of manufacturing runs. You're not going to get a lot of 10, 12-run games from them, but they're going to make you battle for every inch and every base and every step that you take.
It's that old school baseball where you're used to seeing that 1-0, 2-1,
right?
Whatever that may be. Like you said, though, they're not going to give up 10-run type thing, but their bats can come to life too, and we've seen that quite a bit as well. But
yeah, they clutch hitting.
I think the biggest thing with them though is that's what I was about the pitching though. Like truthfully, because I followed a lot of different baseballs through the years, back in my radio days too. And when it gets deep in the playoffs, they start playing a lot of these teams that have 3 aces. That's a tough one when you've only got 1, maybe 2.
Right.
But with these guys being stacked with 3, that's exciting.
It is. And then if you have to, you got Miles Applegate.
Yeah,
right?
You've got another one. You've also got a relief and a closer.
Yeah, you got R.M. Adames.
That's
you've got
the crazy thing.
Yeah, you can go a lot of ways. And again, I think you saw the other night. You had Henry at catching, right? So they made some adjustments. So they've got options there too. If things aren't going well, that they can make changes. And so, and I think Coach Hubbard was talking about he's excited about this year. He's excited about their future, and so it's a good thing.
Long story short, bullpen is outstanding.
Yes. All right, we're going to take it down to the field for the national anthem. All right, so that's the national anthem ready to go, and it looks like Benson's already ready to throw. Applegate's getting ready, so we'll have a few warm-up pitches here, and then we're going to see what this Carthage Bulldog team can do. Yeah, we were just talking. I was looking down and going, man, I can't see this stuff already. We've had a little overcast day. It's not a normal sunny day. We were a little bit worried pregame too because we had some sprinkles coming down.
Drizzle was coming down. I thought it was going to pick up more, but luckily it didn't.
Yeah, it was one of those things that you kind of make that. You're like, do we put the center field camera up? Do we not? We need like we need one of them little tiny umbrellas that goes over it.
Yeah.
You know, like I need to look that up. There's got to be one on.
And some
everything else
stabilizers for the tripod.
Yeah, yeah. Dear Brett.
Dear Brett. Can I make a wish list?
Yeah. There's got to be, though. You have to have some kind of waterproof. Surely there's like a little umbrella.
Something I would think that
you could mount on the top of that
Yeah.
and then get that to – I don't know if it messed with the signal or not, but, you think there'd be a way to do that to where you could protect the camera. But anyway, we got it up, and we're excited about that. So you'll get your normal center field shot into home plate. As well as our first, third, and home plate cams. So kind of a normal setup for us, provided somebody doesn't walk in front of it or do those crazy things. But it looks like we should have a good night tonight. And, again, a beautiful night, a little chilly. But I'll take that over 100.
That's okay. It's a little chilly. We got some crocheting going on up here if you would like something to stay warm.
So if you need a blankie, come on up here to the booth. We'll take a small finder's fee, but we can hook you up. We'll get you set. There's an Etsy shop in there somewhere,
There's an Etsy shop in there.
All right, so it looks like we're getting ready to go live. So this is going to be Kinsler Payne, followed by Ritter, and then Soap.
With his first name being Kinsler. I wonder if his parents were fans of Ian Kinsler back in the day.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
He was a big Ranger. Big-time Ranger.
Yeah, he's all right.
Come on now.
I'm just kidding. I am a Cardinals fan, though, so,
You
know. All right, so ball one.
I always forget you came from that region.
Yeah, I'm from the a little bit further north, above Oklahoma, in Kansas, and then there was nothing in Kansas, so you kind of had to. There's strike one from Benson. We had the Royals. When I was a kid, we lived in Kansas City, and we would go to Royals games to watch the other teams because it was so cheap.
It was like, who's coming into town?
Yeah, you could pay $10 on Friday night and sit on the third baseline. Oh, what a pitch there by Benson.
Beautiful
Quickly
pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Payne. But yeah, it was it was great growing up. Like we saw the White Sox and the Yankees, and you saw a lot of those teams come in.
I can imagine the people you had coming in there.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. All right, here's the 1-2 delivery from Benson. It's a lined foul out of play.
First foul ball is brought to you by ABA Aesthetics.
Again, we're just thankful you've tuned in tonight. It is a little bit dreary, so if you decided to stay home just in case, it's the place to be. All right, just outside for ball two. If you want to stay warm and cozy, have a little fire going or something, nothing like pulling up YouTube on the big TV and watching a game. And what better game than this one? So here's the 2-2 from Benson. He comes into his windup. Just misses outside. So full count here to Payne.
I thought he was going to catch that outside corner. The way it just curved just a little too much.
Yeah, he was trying to get that tail spot. Just missed it. All right, so Benson goes into his windup. And ball 4 high. So that's going to put a runner on. And that's going to bring up the third baseman, Braxton Ritter. All right, Benson checks the runner, checks him again, comes home. Off-speed pitch there. Good move on that slider. Coming across the plate there, gets a strike call.
Yeah, Braxton thought it was going to go outside, and it came right inside, almost
there's
right down the middle.
There's that one where you're like, is that going to hit me? I don't know, maybe. And then by the time you realize it's not, it's over. All right, here's the 0-1 from Benson. Just misses low and outside. So kind of been the theme this year. Umpires have not been given the low and away strike much. Yeah. And again, maybe that's a point of emphasis, but something you got to keep in mind if you're a player. All right, here's the 1-1 from Benson. Catches the outside, so if it's elevated a little bit, you're good.
I think you get that call. But, that's a tough thing, though, because I'm sure a lot of these kids have played travel ball, and you see a lot of different strike zones that way. But if you're not getting that low and away, That takes part of your strike zone away.
And again, a little strategery here. He's going to square to bunt on a 1-2. Probably not bunting, just one of those things to get in the way of the pitcher's eye. And it's effective there. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. And I think that was hard as a pitcher, too. Like when a guy did square to bunt, because you lose that sight line, right? You lose the side of your catcher a little bit. It feels like everything's condensed down to a smaller.
Yeah, even smaller than what it
in
already
your brain,
was.
you're like, you can't miss, right? And then you end up doing it because you're worried about missing. Here's the 2-2. Kicks and fires. That's a little lined looper over first base and out of play. Edney gave it a good chase, but unable to get to it.
He got on his horse and was almost there.
Yeah, that's a long way to go. And it wasn't much of it. It was kind of a little duck snort there. It didn't have a lot of air underneath it, so it was a quick chase back. And
I was going to say, though, with that long stride, he might have had a chance.
That's true. Yeah, it's hard to tell. We're like right where the dugout is, so we couldn't quite see where he got to. It was just out of camera frame. All right, so Ritter's going to square again. Again, 2 balls, 2 strikes here to the second batter in the lineup, with a runner on first, trying to say 3 things at once. Outside for ball 3. All right, so full count. And nobody out here top of the first inning. Benson comes set, comes home. And that one's fouled back off the netting and back down. Give a little. All right, so we're going to reset at 3-2 here. Runner had gotten all the way to second, had to come all the way back.
Having a little deja vu.
Yeah. I just did this a second ago. All right, so Ritter squares again to bunt, trying to take away some space there for Benson to see. Here's the pitch, and he fouls that one straight back. Staying alive. So again, we're going to reset here with a full count. The 3-2 again. It's a little flare out there over first base. Edney ranges over. Oh, what a shot. He caught it right underneath it. Oh, no.
I thought he had it.
I thought he had it. He went right out of frame there. Looks like I think the fence got in the way because he was under our camera at that point. And it didn't hit the camera too bad, so it must have been just underneath it. All right, so for another one, I feel like we've said this a few times now. We're going to go back to 3-2 again.
All I know is Benson's pitch count is going to be a lot by the time we get out
he's
of this inning.
I was going to say he's already at 16. All right, so Benson comes set again. Comes home. That one is fouled back. That's 2 that have hit just the front edge of that roof over us. That roof looks like it covers a lot until you're bringing stuff in and you realize the sprinkles get out farther than you think they do. I thought I had my stuff out of the way. I was like, oh, back a little bit.
A little misleading.
Yeah, so the 3-2 again from Benson. Comes home. That one's another flare out to right. Again, Ritter's letting it get deep, and I think some of that has to do with squaring to bunt.
Yeah.
Right? So he's behind, but Benson hadn't been able to get one by him yet. Right, or get one to get him to put one on the ground. I mean, you'd love nothing more here than a ground ball to Barnhart and then get your double play turn. All right, here's the pitch. That one's lined out to center field. Shortstop. It came shorter than I thought. Throw goes to first, and it's high, and it got out of play. So we got an out on the pop-up. So and then the runner advances to second on the error by the shortstop on the throw. So we got a runner at second base. Again, one of those, like you're trying to get somebody in a hurry, but that thing had some two-seam on it, and it came flying up.
That was hell. That had some mustard on it right
yeah,
there.
It had a little elevator to it. All right, so one out, runner at second. That's going to bring up Soap, the catcher. First pitch to him is a ground ball to the first baseman, and Edney's going to take that one unassisted. The runner does advance to third. And so we got 2 outs in the inning, runner at third, and that's going to bring up the cleanup hitter, the pitcher tonight, Conrad Shahan. I wasn't sure if it's Shahan or, it's like Shanahan without a letter. I wasn't sure, so we'll go with Shahan.
Shahan.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's letting him take the the heat for it down there if he's wrong. I got you.
It seems more logical, right? First pitch inside. Does he go around? He says no.
No.
All right, so ball 1. I was looking at first base for the umpire to make the call and forgot he was at second. I was like, where is he? He's out there right behind. He's right in my picture.
You were looking
frame.
at the Carthage coach?
I was looking. Yeah, I was looking live instead of looking on the screen. It would have been right in front of me. All right, here's the 1-0. That's in there for a strike. Good pitch there from Benson. Again, Benson at 22, pitches already in this first inning. Love nothing more here than get out of this one quick, right, without any damage. All right, here's the 1-1. Breaking pitch just misses. And hard to tell on that one. The umpire is standing right in that spot where I think we forgot to tell him we were going to put the camera right where it is. And
Sir, can you slide to the left a little bit?
Can you give me 2 feet left or 2 feet right? Like do a little dance step out there. All right. So here's the 2-1 from Benson. He kicks and fires. That one stays inside. Gets away from Applegate, but not far enough to do any damage. So 3 balls, 1 strike here to the cleanup hitter. All right, so again, I think you have to be careful here because you have first base open, right, with 2 outs here. You don't want to pitch him something he can kill. That was a good pitch. That's exactly what you want to look for there. All right, so 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Top of the first inning. Again, you scored nothing.
Still painting that outside corner, but
you just got to keep it a little bit elevated, right? You can get away with the outside pitch. It's just got to be above. Here it comes, the full count pitch. And it gets him looking. So that's a Tara Harris State Farm strikeout. That's going to do it for the top of the first inning. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back for more action here on NETSN.
Okay, your price is like State Farm, but is your coverage?
How we do things might leave you shocked. Our claims aren't done right. Our process is rough. It's tough.
Can I get help from an agent?
No luck.
Do it online?
No luck.
An app?
No luck.
Take my phone. It's easy, I swear. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All right, welcome back. Tuesday Night Baseball on NETSN. Jeremy Diamond, Jeremy Titsworth here at Driller Park in Kilgore, Texas. Bottom of the first inning. So Conrad Shahan struck out to end the inning, and then he's going to be on the mound and try to do a few of those on his own, right? He's going to try to return the favor.
He said, hold on, you're going to strike me out?
Let's
see what I can do.
That's right. So the due up here for the Bulldogs is going to be Brooks, Hale, and Clayton.
And like we always talk about, though, is if Brooks can get on, that kind of leads to everything that Kilgore likes to do.
Yeah, the key to this team is getting those guys on. Then when you get to the bottom of the lineup, getting a Dickey or a Williams on and getting somebody in front of those guys. But, yes, guys on the bags are a huge part of what Kilgore does, really how their offense runs. And, again, if you can get somebody on early in the beginning of the game, it tends to be that thing that just breaks open and gets them going. All right, so here's the pitch to Brooks. Low for a ball. I love listening to the crowd. Like, half of them are good eye and half of them are like, what?
What was that call?
Yeah, where was that? All right, 1-0, 2-0. But I think that's what's awesome about baseball or any sport really is half the people love every call, half the people are mad, and then there's a few people that don't really know what's going on right in the middle. Here's the 2-0, 3-0.
I think it's one thing I like about baseball and softball, though, because even like in basketball, you usually only get like one side of the crowd's perspective because that's where we're setting.
Yes.
So you don't hear everybody else's, but being out here, you kind of hear everybody.
There's a 3-0. called strike. Ooh, that was out there.
That was,
I think it is fun, and like in football, it's hard because you're really in the press box, so you don't hear it from the crowd.
You
mic,
get a little bit of crowd noise, not much.
Yeah. All right, so ball 4. So Shahan walks Brooks, and again, that is not what you want to do. That is a recipe for trouble.
And
so
with no outs, I mean, that's the biggest key right now too. Like that's what we said. Like they want to get people on base, move people around, do some small ball. It's what they're good at.
Yeah, and again, Colton Hale is good at he can hit and he can bunt, right? Like he's kind of
him to do.
Yeah, he can bunt for a base hit. I mean, he can move guys around any way possible. And Brooks has just got so much speed anyway. He doesn't need a lot of help. All right, here's the pitch. Hale squares the bunt. He puts a bunt down. The only play is for Shahan to flip to first, and he gets the out, but it does advance the runner. All right, so that's going to bring up Kaysen Clayton. Again, Clayton's got a runner in scoring position in the form of Kaysen Brooks. Shahan comes home. Misses low and outside for ball 1. Brooks got that hot pink oven mitt out there just in case some cookies are ready at third base. He's ready to go. That thing is huge.
It is.
I'm sure there are regulations at this point, but sometimes you wonder looking at some of them. Here's the pitch. Ground ball through the hole. They're going to hold Brooks. It was a little bit too shallow. So single there for Clayton, and that's going to bring up the cleanup hitter tonight. And that's Kaysen Edney. So Kaysen's playing first base tonight. Oftentimes he's the starting pitcher.
That hit by Clayton was set up, though, for Brooks being at second, which goes back to the sacrifice bunt while ago, moving Brooks to second.
Yeah, because the shortstop was covering hard.
Slide over a little bit.
Exactly. And because that was really, I mean, normally that's an easy, right, because it's a slow ground ball. But the third baseman really can't go because the runner's coming to him and the shortstop's out of play, exactly like you said. That's ABC baseball, as they say. All right, so runner at third, 1 out. Again, Edney up. Going to fake the throw to both, and nobody moves. You have to be really careful with those, too, if you've come set or you take just a tiny step off, you can get a balk real easy.
I was just thinking that same thing.
Especially with the wet we've had,
year,
right?
like
Especially with the wet.
Yeah, but, I mean, just this year in general, like I've seen some crazy calls for balks. We've had a lot, though, this year. Normally it's kind of something that you see every now and then.
Sure. Well, we had one the other night that wasn't called, and I thought it might have been the most obvious one of the year. All right, here's the 1-0. Runner starts to go and then comes back. And you can kind of tell. I mean, you can see some of the track out here as they're starting to get these leadoffs at first, and you can kind of see in the screen here around second, like you can tell they swept over it right, but there is some rain underneath and there's some mud underneath that came in today. Didn't pour, but it was enough. Pitch outside, the throw goes down. It's going to be short on it got all the way through on accident, actually. I think that was supposed to be picked up there by the second baseman, and I think he just missed the catch.
Yeah, I thought he had it at second until I saw the ball rolling off the second base bag.
Yeah, so stolen base there for Clayton. And going to keep. So now you got runners at second and third. Again, your count is 2-0. Shahan goes into the windup. Nice breaking pitch there from him.
I think that would have been the pitch to hit right there, though, truthfully. But right now I'm also looking at the gap right over second base.
Right, 3-1. Oh, got Edney chasing that one. So he threw that off-speed pitch.
There it is.
So here's the 3-2. Ground ball goes to third. Oh, and then he bobbled it and dropped it. So everybody's safe. So an error there from the third baseman. So you got bases loaded here for Kaysen Henry. And again, kind of a routine play, but again, I think the fielding, I think the ground and all that has something to do with it, right? Ball coming off the grass.
I was going to say, that's my craziest thing, though, looking at that little mud right there. You go down to reach that ball, and you may not be able to grab it just right.
Yeah, you might be better off barehanding or trying something different. First pitch is inside and high for a ball. So, again, there's nowhere to put him.
Yep.
Right? If you're the defense, you tell yourself you can get it out anywhere. but really the advantage here is to the offense. All right, here's the 1-0. Line shot to shallow center field. And he doesn't make the catch. They're going to send the runner to third. And he slides in safely. And again, it pulled the third baseman off because really all he had to do there was catch it. So bases loaded again. And you've got one run across the plate.
Yeah, I think that maybe a little bit of a tough catch,
yeah.
but at the same time, I mean, it's one of those things that
it was in the glove.
Yeah. He had it, just lost it. I mean, we've seen that a couple times now. So
yeah. All right, so bases loaded, one run across, and just one out here. Off-speed pitch there. I think misses high. I think if he catches that, it's probably a strike.
I think so, too, but I'm going to tell you right now, though, if that was Brooks at third right now, I don't know if they're stopping him.
Yeah. I'm a little.
Clayton's got speed too, but
Clayton didn't get a secondary lead. That was the problem. If he had a secondary lead, he's probably home. And I think that's what Coach Hubbard was saying. Like, hey, you got to get that little bit of get your lead a little bit here. All right, so here's the 1-0. That time he got a little, hot shot to the third base dugout there. A whole bunch of Carthage Bulldogs were diving for their own safety smartly.
I was going to say, good thing there's some netting right there as it rolls back into play.
That was a hot shot by Miles. So 1 ball, 1 strike here, 1 out. Bottom of the first inning, and again, Kilgore has a 1-0 lead. Thanks to that little biting, diving hit there. Again, probably an error if you look back at it. So
that's what I scored it as.
Ooh. Inside, little sweet chin music there.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Little post-WrestleMania talk there.
I was about to say, got a little WrestleMania talk right there, man. That's nice.
Yeah.
A little sad. Brock's retiring.
I know. It was kind of crazy. It was a wild couple of nights, but a lot of fun. Brett didn't love it, but, you know.
He critiques it too tightly.
Yeah, here's the 2-1. That is a high pop-up over a first base side. First baseman ranges over. And just out of frame, and stays foul. So got out of play just barely. Our colleagues down below have the umbrella out, so I don't know if that means the sprinkles have returned or they're just being safe. But
I think they have because I've seen people moving chairs backwards.
Okay. So 2-2 here is the count to Miles Applegate. Miles got that open stance going here. And pitcher in the windup with the bases loaded. It's a high pop-up. First baseman is going to move over and makes the catch. All right, so 2 outs now in the bottom of the first inning. And, again, bases loaded for the starting pitcher, Brody Benson.
Let's say, surely he'd like to add a little bit more to this.
For sure.
Insurance runs here.
Yeah, and I think if you're Shahan, if you walk out of this only giving up 1 run, it's a win, right, with the way that things were rolling for a little bit there. So Benson up to the plate here. First pitch is just off. I think he said a little high and a little outside based on the catcher's reaction there. That pitch comes in a little bit low, so 2 balls, no strikes. Seeing it now, as a Cardinals fan, I have a hard time with the Carthage logo because it looks like the Cincinnati Reds, right? So no love lost there, right? It's like, oh.
Well, good thing there's.
But
Reds.
It's kind of an interesting matchup tonight because it's red on, it's gray on white. Otherwise, it's the same colors. Misses that one 3-0.
I'll say Reds ain't been good in like 100 years, so.
Yeah. Joey Votto made him okay. That's the guy you had to hate. So Soap comes out to have a little conversation with Shahan, trying to calm him down a little bit here. You got a 3-0 here.
Yeah.
Groove 1, the odds of him swinging are probably pretty low.
I would say I think that's the way this whole inning started for them, though, because he kind of started off, throwing some low pitches and finally found his groove. But you don't need to walk one right here because that's what happened with Brooks.
Yeah, and I think you get rattled a little bit when you have what you think should be normal fielding jobs, right? They don't go your way. Sometimes they get you out of your groove. All right, so Shahan's going to come into the windup on the 3-0. Oh, not what you want. He's going to plunk. So hit by a pitch.
Already did.
Did it work? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I undid it. My bad. I doubled it. I didn't see
doubled
anything
us up.
moved. I did. So 1 run scores there on the hit by pitch. That was my fault. I thought it said 0 over there. I thought it said 1 over there. I can't see. All right, so
We turn this light back on.
Yeah, yeah. The light's even on, and I can't see. All right, so 2-0 now in favor of Kilgore, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Jackson Dickey. Again, I love that cooler heads prevail there, right? So Tenney is going to be the courtesy runner at first base for Benson. So you got speed on the base pass at first and third. Strike one there. And again, you also have a courtesy runner out there at second base. No, that's Henry at second. Excuse me. I forgot Applegate popped out. I was like, wait a second. Ooh.
Okay.
Gets him reaching for that one, so.
Quickly down in the count now.
Yeah, so you got Edney at third, you got Dickey at second, and then you have Tenney at first. And again, the count's 0-2 here. And it's a line shot to the shortstop. He's going to flip to second, and they get the out. So that's going to do it for the first inning of play, but not before Kilgore spots 2 runs. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back for second inning action here at Driller Park on NETSN.
This is where legends rise. On the hardwood, under the lights, from the buzzer beaters to the rim rockers, we bring you the action. Raw, real, relentless. We cover every angle, every story, from the blacktop to the big stage. Your favorite hoopers, your squads, your passion, all in one place, only on NETSN. Live games, exclusive shows. This is the future of basketball culture. 24/7 sports entertainment. This isn't just a network, this is a movement. Welcome to NETSN. Game on.
All right, welcome back. Tuesday Night Baseball on NETSN. Again, we're at Driller Park, Kilgore, Texas, for a district matchup between the Kilgore Bulldogs and the visiting Carthage Bulldogs. And again, both pitchers threw a lot of pitches in that inning. I think they both had around 26. And then you had a lot of base runners.
Yep.
Kilgore able to plate 2, but they did leave the bases loaded, crazily enough, right after all that they did score 2 runs, which is a good thing. And so Benson's working with a 2-0 lead here. And so he's going to try to get this 3 up, 3 down here.
I think the craziest thing, you score that second run by hit by pitch.
Right. Yeah, of all the things. On a 3-0 count, right? Yeah. You're like, well, I guess I'm going to walk somebody. Might as well make it worth it. All right, so this is the first baseman, number 21, Cade Ross. His first plate appearance of the night. First pitch swings and misses, so 0-1. Good pitch there from Benson.
Had a lot of good movement on it.
Yeah, and I think Benson needs to be efficient in this inning, right? Get those counts quickly or get ground balls. Ooh, man. Misses that one. So 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's like we talked about, though. It's that outside bottom corner, that bottom of the strike zone. Nobody's called it. We haven't seen it.
True. Those are just tough when it looks so close, right? Here's the 1-1. It's a high pop-up over the second baseman. You see Barnhart make the catch there on the right side of your screen, and he does. So 1 away here. And that's going to bring up number 13, the left fielder, Roston Reed. Benson goes into his windup. Here's the pitch to Reed. In there for a strike. Good pitch there. Yeah, Benson's got a little bit of tail movement on the end of that. Even on his fastball, he's got a little bit of drift to it. So makes it hard to hit.
Nothing wrong with your pitches. Have a little wiggle.
That's right. Makes it more effective. A little foul there. So 0-2. Ooh, Miles took that one. You can tell. That one tickled. Nice of the umpire there to walk that out and toss the ball. Give Miles a chance to catch his breath a little bit there.
Kind of shake it off a little bit.
Yeah, those don't feel good when you catch a foul ball off the thigh.
No.
Right.
It's one of those things being a catcher, though, man.
That's true. Yeah, you feel like at some point, like not hockey padding is that you couldn't move in it, but you think there'd be padding under the pants or something by this point that would help that a little bit.
Thin layer of something.
Yeah, something. All right, so Benson's going to go into the windup here for the 0-2. He's getting his sign. Comes home. That one tailed on him.
I think because it took so long to get the call in.
Yeah, that backdoor, it almost looked like a backdoor slider. It came back over the batter's head, thankfully up high where it couldn't cause any damage. But 1-2. Say another pop-up over on the first base side. Edney's reaching, running, reaching. Oh, and he just misses the catch. It was right there. I could see it just barely. He's leaned about he's slinky dogged, as his nickname is, about as far out as he could reach, and it just went off the tip of the glove.
I was about to say, I'm going to tell you right now, if he couldn't reach, I don't know who else could.
Yeah, Benson maybe has an inch and a half on him, so maybe, but even
maybe.
That, yeah. If a guy that tall can't reach it, it's probably not going to be an easy one to get. So, all right, here's the 1-2 from Benson. Goes into his windup and comes home. And he gets him looking. So that's the second looking strikeout, right? Nothing like those are the best kind when you just freeze them up. So another Terry Harris State Farm strikeout, number 2 for Benson. And that's 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Tate Pope. Again, Tate almost had a fantastic catch in that first inning, right?
Yeah.
Just couldn't quite come up with it. So he's going to look to do a little damage here at the plate. First pitch low and outside. Tate's got a smaller strike zone than a guy like Edney. He's
just a little bit.
Yeah, he's got a little bit more of a small frame there. All right, here's the 1-0 from Benson. Little flare out there over the first baseman. Edney ranges over and makes the catch. So a pop out to first baseman. And that's going to do it for the top of the second inning. Coach Hubbard giving him a hard time, checking to make sure that his glove was okay and didn't have a hole in it. But, again, that's going to do it for the top of the second inning. We're going to take a short break and be right back after this on NETSN.
Okay, your price is like State Farm, but is your coverage?
How we do things might leave you shocked. Our claims aren't done right. Our process is rough. It's tough.
Can I get help from an agent?
No luck.
Do it online?
No luck.
An app?
No luck.
Take my phone. It's easy, I swear. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All right, welcome back. Jeremy Diamond, Jeremy Titsworth on NETSN. Again, Tuesday night baseball here in Kilgore. The left fielder, Braden Williams, up to bat, his first appearance of the night. Ground ball goes to the shortstop. He scoops. Throw to first. Is scooped in time for the out. For a second there, it almost sounded like Williams had a wood bat.
Yeah, it seemed like that, didn't it?
It had that little kind of sound to it like you would from a wooden bat.
Thought a little old school there.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, man, maybe just maybe it was more handle. Maybe just didn't, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't on the barrel as much.
But, true.
But it did. It definitely had a sound of it. You thought it might have been a wooden bat. All right, so Kason Brooks up to bat. And Brooks was our walk. And then a hit by pitch when there was a couple of guys that got a free pass. Good off-speed pitch there by Shahan. It's strike one on Brooks.
Brooks thought about it.
Yeah.
That was probably the right one. Should have went with.
All right, here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. So 0-2. Yeah, I think it's that one he second-guessed himself. He's like, oh, and then at that point it's too late, right?
Then you come back and you see high fastball.
Yeah, 0-2 from Shahan. That one's low. So ball one. Again, Shahan up to 32 pitches. So both guys kind of struggled in that first inning. Benson had a pretty efficient one, and then there's the strikeout on Brooks. So quickly 2 outs here Yeah, struck out swinging. So, I mean, quickly 2 outs, right? So, again, both guys settled in after the first inning. So far, Shahan's done the same. We'll see if he can finish this out here. The shortstop, Colton Hale. Again, he had a terrific sacrifice bunt in that first inning there to get Brooks to second and eventually in scoring position when he got to third, and then he got him home. And so,
I think now we're going to get to see Hale swing away.
Yeah, this is that one where if he were to bunt, it would be bunting for a base hit. But I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll swing here. Right down the line there. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. Nice little line shot there by Hale into right field is for a base hit.
There you go.
There you go. And that's going to bring up Kason Clayton. And again, Kason Clayton is 1 for 1 on the day.
I will say, though, how many times have we seen this team do something with 2 outs?
Yeah, I'm telling you. It's like
you guys could have done it before the 2 outs.
Multiple extra inning games, like they're the guys. They just don't quit, right? I mean, and that's a testament to a team that fights. Here's the pitch. Oh, that one's wild and gets away. Almost hit Clayton. That was a breaking pitch that forgot to break, and puts a runner at second base. So again, Hale's got good speed there at second. So you got a runner in scoring position. Again, a base hit in the outfield should score a run.
But here we go again. It's that squeeze thing for shortstop. Look at that huge gap.
Yeah, you got plenty of room.
There.
Here's the 1-0 to Clayton. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on that one a little bit. Yeah, I think this is that time as a hitter you got to be patient because you want nothing more than drive the run in, right? But you got to find the pitch you can drive. Recycle things here. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Shahan comes set. Here's the 1-1. It's in the dirt. Ball 2. I think, you want Shahan you don't want to get him. I mean, you don't want Hale to steal third, but
no.
He's so worried about second. You got 2 outs. Just get this guy at the plate, right? Like, I think that's the thing that sometimes
you kind of forget
athletes overdo things, right? They overthink things.
Instead of just doing something simplistic, is what's right in front of you, that task that you can do. Instead, you're trying to make things more complicated.
100%. Yep.
But I have seen some pitchers even in high school, though. It's kind of like they put a blinder on and they become more of a, I don't want to say robotic, but they zone in on that batter, and that's what they're going after. They're not worried about who's on base behind them.
Right. And again, with 2 outs, I mean, you don't want to walk a guy.
Wow. This is going to be the lengthiest at bat we've seen tonight.
Yeah, neither guy wanting to budge here. All right, here's the pitch. That one's low, so 3 balls, 1 strike. So Shahan having a little trouble finding the plate.
Yeah, I think it's the delay between pitches. That's what I'm noticing, too.
Yeah, when he gets on the mound, steps up and throws, it's consistent. The stall time or the time to wait on the call coming in has affected him a little bit. Throw to second. He's back in time. Good shot there from our center field cam. You can see that well. I almost switched, and I was like, wait a minute, we have the right shot. That's the one.
Right at it.
That's right. And again, not a bad idea if you're Carthage there. Right now, I think you focus on the batter. You got a 3-1 count here. You can't give him a walk and get Edney up again. Here's the pitch. Called strike. Seemed a little low, but hadn't been called a strike a lot, but it was there. So full count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
I think even umpire in his mind was 50-50 on that call.
Yeah.
Like, man, which one am I doing? Am I giving him a walk here? Or?
Yeah, am I pointing to first or am I calling a strike? Here's a 3-2. It's a little line shot over by the first base side. And the first baseman makes the catch just out of frame range. So that's going to do it for the second inning. Again, your score 2-0 in favor of the Kilgore Bulldogs. We're going to take a short break and be back for third inning action here on NETSN.
Okay, your price is like State Farm, but is your coverage?
How we do things might leave you shocked. Our claims aren't done right. Our process is rough. It's tough.
Can I get help from an agent?
No luck.
Do it online?
No luck.
An app?
No luck.
Take my phone. It's easy, I swear. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All right, good evening. Welcome back. Again, Jeremy Diamond, Jeremy Titsworth. We're at Driller Park here in Kilgore, Texas. Man, both pitchers struggled in the first inning and then came out really clean in the second overall, right? I mean, a little bit more traffic for Shahan, but again, no harm, no foul on that one. And so still 2-0 your score here. And you're going to have a third inning of work here for Benson. And we were kind of worried after the first inning because, you know, he pitched a few weeks ago in Spring Hill and had kind of a rough couple innings and got up his pitch count really quick and didn't stay in the game as long as he wanted to. And so I think a big key for him, and especially coming back from Tommy John, is getting quick innings, right, and getting that work and to get deeper in the game. And so
I think it's getting your groove in quicker, and I think that's the biggest key right now, too. And it seems like he's kind of finding his zone. You know, before, obviously, his last strikeout, didn't get a chance to mention it, but with his strikeouts, you know, people looking, you feel like your stuff's working. And
yes,
being on a 0-2 pitch and all of a sudden you get a strikeout looking, that's a big deal. It's a confidence booster.
Yeah, that's going to bring up. So the lineup tonight, or the due up, is going to go Lipsy, the right fielder, then the second baseman Raines, and then back to the top of the lineup with the shortstop Payne. So that's your three guys due up for the Bulldogs. So first pitch here to Lipsy. It's ball one. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, let us know who you're cheering for. You can't just say Bulldogs. You got to give us a location.
Specific.
Yeah, give a little bit more detail there. Let us know who you're cheering for. All right, so strike there. So 1 ball, 1 strike. But yeah, please do let us know who you're cheering for, who you're tuned in to watch. Again, I'm sure we have some Carthage fans as well as some Kilgore fans, and we'd like to know who the farthest fan away is. So who's going to win the farthest fan of the night?
We're just some baseball fans, and that's why they say Bulldogs.
Yeah, maybe you're just watching the game. Yeah, maybe you're just watching. You want to tune in some great baseball on Friday night. All right, so Benson has a 2-1 count here. Goes into his windup and comes home. Little ground ball. Picked up by the first baseman, Edney. He flips to Benson. And that's a ground out. Normally it kind of goes the other way. So Edney to Benson, and it gets your out right. And a lot of times it goes the other direction. When Edney's on the mound, he goes to Benson, right? So that's a normal combination for those two guys. All right. So Kaysen Raines, the second baseman, is up to bat. Again, his first at bat of the day. Ball high.
Yeah,
I feel like this week has been like a one-off. You know, it was like mid-80s last week. I thought we were climbing, and I'm happy. I love the weather. But
back down to 50s.
yeah, 40s in the morning stuff. It's like, what is going on? 2 balls, no strikes. Again, I think that messes with, teams a little bit because especially starting pitchers. You're expecting to get warmer. It's a little easier to warm up when it's warmer.
Oh, yeah.
When it's cooler, it takes a little bit longer. All right, Benson, the 2-0 windup. In there for a strike. Great pitch there by him.
I know where you came from. Y'all had all seasons, but have you ever seen all seasons in one day?
Yes. Oh, that happens in Kansas a lot. We'd have a tornado and then sunshine, and it always is windy. All right, here's the 2-1. Ooh, little nubber there. I think that might have hit him if he hadn't swung. That was in there. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Yeah, we had that crazy where it was like, sun, rain, tornado, wind, all at once. We got snow up there, so you get a
Oh, yeah. That's why I said you guys got all seasons.
Yeah, and I played a golf tournament in high school when the wind was blowing up to 60 miles an hour. In your back, you could hit it a mile, and if it was in your face, you just try to hit it on the ground. You just hit a worm burner. So
it's not even a golf tournament. I don't even know what that is.
All right, so Champ Monahan at home not feeling well. Well, thanks for tuning in, Champ. We're sorry to hear you're not feeling well, but glad to see you supporting the team. 2-2 pitch. And another strikeout looking. That's the third strikeout for Benson, and all 3 of them have been looking. So another Terra Harris State Farm strikeout. And that puts 2 outs here in the inning. And if you're going to go to the top of the lineup back around again, it's nothing better than having nobody on base, right?
Yep.
That's the ideal scenario. So Payne up for his second at bat.
Nothing they can add to, even if your leadoff gets on.
Exactly. Here's the pitch to Payne. Strike there. I
He's
think
swerving in
Payne.
that
I think
corner,
Payne had
man.
he was the walk, right? He was the leadoff walk. Yes, to start the game.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right, there's the 0-1. I think he started him out. He was ahead of him
Yeah.
in the count, and then he kind of let him slide back in there and missed on that 3-2.
It was because it was 2 full counts back to back.
Yes. All right, here's the 1-1 from Benson. Oh, that broke, but it was a late break. That
Did
was
not
that one.
break enough, though,
I
but
thought for sure
man.
that Payne was going to catch one right in the shoulder blade right there. That looked like that's that one you look back later and you're like, oh, that's where that came from. Why am I sore there? All right, here's the 2-1 from Benson. Gets him swinging. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So deuces are wild.
Must have good to see him go back inside there, though, even though that last pitch didn't break.
Yeah. See if you get him to get something a little off the plate here. Here's the 2-2. A little too far off the plate there. So full count again.
You said off the plate. You weren't very specific about
Yeah,
it.
should have said just a couple inches off the plate there. I was too generic.
Not a bad idea, though. 2 pitches inside, 1 back out.
Yeah, why not? All right, here's the 3-2 delivery from Benson. He goes into his windup and kicks and misses low. So leadoff man Payne is on base for the second time, both times by walk, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Braxton Ritter. And again, he's 0 for 1. So I guess if you're going to let a guy on base, at least the next guy's 0 for 1, right? That's what you tell yourself here.
But this was another long at bat because this was another full count with a lot of fouls.
Yes, it was. That's right. I forgot. That was the one that had like the 8 foul balls. First pitch high for a ball. So Benson up to 52 pitches by our count. Again, that's not gospel, but it's pretty close. Yeah. And the nice thing is we had a great update on our app. So the pitch count does track when they hit fouls. Before it was wait until the next pitch was different, and then it would all of a sudden throw 8 up there. But it's on track. And so, all right, here's the 1-0. Benson checks the runner and comes home. High, ball 2. So, David at Repmore Media has been a big supporter for us. He's actually the guy that's in charge of the scoreboard of creation of all that. And he's been really good about, hey, can you work on this? What about this? And he's been great to take care of those things. And so we're thankful for that. It makes my job easier and your job easier overall.
Being guinea pigs.
Yes.
That's what we are.
That's it. 2-0. Strike, throw down to first. Not in time. Good idea, though.
Was a good idea.
All right, so 2 balls, 1 strike. And again, a lot of times you don't get that strike call, but Applegate did a good job of staying low enough in the crouch so the umpire could see the pitch. All right, 2-1 from Benson. Swing and a miss, so 2 balls, 2 strikes. So we're right back where we were a minute ago. So deuce is wild again. Some of y'all didn't shake him last time, I know it. All right, it says Carolyn Gordon cheering on Colton Hale and the team from Albuquerque, New Mexico. So there's our leader in the clubhouse for distance. Again, awesome to have you tune in. We're thankful that you do. Here's the pitch. Foul tip. Oh, man, that one got Miles again. Miles has had a rough little outing tonight. He's been hit twice on the foul ball. That'll be a foul ball sponsored by You're Getting a Bruise Tomorrow or something, you know.
We got a local ice pack company in town.
There you go. Sponsored by, what's the little penguin ice company?
The little igloo.
Yeah. Something.
Man, that's tough.
Yeah, those are not fun.
Sponsored by your local ice bath.
There you go. There you go. A little cryo clinic or something. Got some friends that have one in Tyler, iCryo.
There you go, yeah.
It's a cool place.
They're different. I like it, though.
All right, here's the 2-2. That one's outside, so full count again. Benson tried to put a little extra on that one and hung on to it just a little bit too long. So full count again for the second straight batter.
I think you're trying to force it a little bit. Second straight time, though, for Ritter as well.
Yeah.
Right. Ritter's the one that kind of shrunk his strike zone from him.
He did. Square that bunt around, right? So 3-2 pitch again. Second at bat. It's fouled back. Uh-oh. That one did a little damage to the cam. Mr. Applegate saw it. He's on the move. What a guy. Saved me from some steps. I thought I had it nice and tight, but it was a little muddy down there. It's like a slip and slide when you step down there. Hopefully he don't step in that same slip and slide.
I thought he almost slipped there for a second.
Yeah.
The way it looked.
Pitch is outside for a ball. Got it right there, I think.
Out of play, number 7, Brooks. So,
All right, so runners at first and second, again, 2 outs. Benson scuffling just a little bit here.
Now you got to go zoom back in.
Yeah, just a hair, but that's all right. If that's the worst thing that happens, I think we're pretty safe. All right, so here's the pitch. Benson checks both runners, comes home, inside for a ball. And I think, again, kind of that same thing we just talked about a little bit ago, like just control the controllables, right?
Yeah. I think he turned around and looked at both runners at bases and forgot what he was doing.
Yeah, and I think Coach Hubbard's going to come out and have a quick talk with him again about the same thing. Like, we've got 2 outs here. You don't have to, keep them close, but don't spend your time there. Like, just throw your stuff.
Keep an eye on him. Focus on the guy at the plate.
Yeah, and again, the catcher soap at the plate here. And again, you got runners at first and second. So, again, nothing. I mean, again, it's not bases loaded. You don't have guys at second and third, right?
No.
Like, you're okay. Trust your defense.
But the way that pitch came in a while ago, though, he could have easily loaded the bases because he was distracted by the 2 runners and threw almost a wild pitch into the batter. So
yeah, you could have had a hit by a pitch there and load him up. And so I think that's the thing here too is just get the pitch in. Let's lock in. Let's finish this. And again, I think a good job there by Coach Hubbard and the guys saying, "Hey, we got you, Benson. We got you." Right? I think sometimes those pitchers need that. Like, you're all right. You're in. Let's get this thing done. So they're going to talk a little lineup there. You see Hale translating a little bit out there to Brooks in center field and getting them to change where they're going to be lined up a little bit.
Would be surprised if they give him a pitch and he pops out right here.
Yeah, so here's the 1-0. Gets a strike call there.
Or gets a strike.
Yeah, but again, I think that's the difference, right? Like, just get your pitch, check him, and then come on. Right, come downhill with it. All right, so Benson comes set, comes home. Just misses with that one, so 2 balls, 1 strike. Again, 2 outs here. He's up to about 62 pitches, so wants to get out of this one quickly if possible. Benson comes home. Say a line. Ooh, that's a rip line, too. Foul ball. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Again, deuces are wild here.
What's your go-to pitch here?
Yeah.
You've worked both sides of the plate.
Yeah, I think you just come straight heat here. Get a ground ball. It's going to go to Barnhart. Barnhart scoops, throws to first in time for the out, and that's going to do it for the top of the 3rd inning. So a couple guys get on base, but nobody gets across the plate. So it's still 2-0 in favor of Kilgore. We're going to take a short break and be right back for bottom of the 3rd inning action here on NETSN.
Okay, your price is like State Farm, but is your coverage?
How we do things might leave you shocked. Our claims aren't done right. Our process is rough. It's tough.
Can I get help from an agent?
No luck.
Do it online?
No luck.
An app?
No luck.
Take my phone. It's easy, I swear. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All right, so first pitch contact there. Tabor gets a ground out to first base, so pitcher to first. So, again, new pitcher in. We were trying to figure out who that was there, but it's Judson Tabor, number 3 coming in. All right, that's going to bring up Kason Henry. So what we think is, and based on the lineup here, it looked like that Shahan's going to stay in as the DH.
Yeah. We were a little confused because it says 1 DH. I was like, all right, is he pitching and then he's DH after he gets done on the mound?
And this app doesn't let us do that.
No.
So I don't know what's going to happen when he comes up to bat. But so 1 ball, no strikes. Second pitch is a ball. So, again, not a bad if you're Tabor, you come in 1 pitch, 1 out. That's not a bad way to come in. And here's the 2-0. High and outside, so 3-0. So draws the walk.
Almost makes you go back to the first batter, and you're sitting there thinking, like, man, why did I swing at that first pitch?
Yeah, you're like,
make him throw me strikes.
What was I doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah, so Miles Applegate, the 6-hitter in the lineup, up to bat. He's 0 for 1. Again, he had that little kind of pop out there around first base in his at bat when the bases were loaded. That one's inside there.
Let's go back to the same scenario. They'll make him throw you a strike at this point.
Yeah, he's throwing
5 balls in a row.
He's throwing 5, and probably the one that was flared was probably a ball too. Yeah, exactly. So yet officially to throw a strike. Misses on that one, so 2-0. Again, looked like for a second there we're going to have a throw over there to at Henry there at first base for a second. He had a good secondary lead. But again, if you're the catcher and you throw that in the outfield, that's a lot of running. So here's the 2-0. Ooh. Listen to the dugout. Let it hit you. Let it hit you.
Wear it. What are you doing?
It's so easy to say. I don't know. That was a little bit too waist high. That's a dangerous place to let it hit you. Yeah, you don't want to catch one in the hip or worse. We'll just say worse. We'll leave it at worse. So
I'll take one on the arm, the shoulder, or something.
Yeah, but not there.
No.
All right, here's the 3-0. Gets a called strike on the outside part of the plate there. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That one's in the dirt and gets away, but it's okay because it's a walk as long as you pick it up quick because you don't want the guy to keep running and go to third if you just walk over.
I mean, you're going to walk over to it. I'm going to go ahead and walk over to third.
Yeah. All right, so that's going to bring up the starting pitcher, Brody Benson.
Pinch runner in, too.
Yeah, and I think Benson was the one that got hit, right? So Benson was the one that got plunked.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
He got the hit by pitch RBI. That's a nice little way to get an RBI. It doesn't feel good the next day, but that night it does.
You're like, yeah, I'll take the RBI. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, like you said, courtesy runner at first base. That pitch is outside for a ball. Good eye there by Benson. I believe that's Dre Sanders. It is. So, Dre Sanders at first. You got Henry at second. And coach is going to come out here and talk to Tabor. Again, Tabor's had a tough time locating the strike zone.
Yeah, it's been 9 balls and 1 strike, but potentially it could have been 10.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, all right, what are we doing here? Just calm down. Surely, I mean, what's the quickest you've seen them make a pitching change and then change to another pitcher? Have you ever seen them like a couple of batters in and then change again?
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't think the rules there in high school. You know, if it was the major leagues now, it's a 3-batter rule, right? Which I guess he's at 3 batters, so I guess you could. And I don't know. I mean, I don't think there is a rule in high school. I've seen it a few times, but not in a 2-0 game.
No, usually
I think if it was a tight game, right, late in the game, and something happened, but you never know. I mean, again, like you said, pride's on the line here, right? A lot of bragging rights here. All right, the 1-0. It's a ground ball up the middle. That's going to get past the diving shortstop. That's going to send the runner home. The throw comes in high. Yeah, you better run back and touch it because he missed it. We saw it up here. We were all going, he missed home plate. He was in such a hurry to get home, he forgot to touch it. So RBI, single there. And then that's going to bring a courtesy runner in as well. I believe that's Tenney. It is. So Devin Tenney, Dre Sanders. Got speed at both bases, first and second. And you got Dickey, the right fielder, up. Strike there.
I think that's the first legitimate strike.
Yes. All right, the 0-1 from Tabor. That one's in the turf dirt, or in the dirt. Here it's dirt. Some places it's
dirt here.
Yeah, so dirt. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Again, bottom of the third inning. It's 3-0 in favor of Kilgore.
I think I like some of the fields that kind of mix it.
A little turf and a little dirt?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's
like
weird.
Turf from the infield.
Right.
And then the outfield being dirt or grass.
Right. I like home plate being still dirt.
Okay.
Because if you're a batter, you get to dig in. Like, you can't really dig in on turf.
No, it's a little tough. I think you should have just let that one come on in instead of nubbing that away. I might have even hit him on the hands.
Yeah.
He fought it away, though.
All right, so 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Again, Dickey 0 for 1 on the day. Got runners at first and second with good speed, so anything on the ground in the outfield should score at least 1. That one's outside, so 2 balls, 2 strikes here.
Smart laying off that.
Yes. All right, here's the 2-2. That one's low and away.
I think good job by Soap stopping these pitches, though.
I think the deal is Tabor. I think he's trying to aim instead of pitching, right?
Yeah.
Like he's trying to hit this exact centimeter of a space somewhere, and by doing that, he's missing location versus just throwing the ball. Like you can just tell he's trying to like go over just a little bit than what he probably normally would.
I bet it could be one of those things just thinking too much.
Yeah, here's the elementary countdown, the 3-2-1. It's a line shot into left field. It's going to get down. That's going to score a run. Cutoff man go to third, and Tenney's in there safely. So a double. So 4-0 in favor of Kilgore. Great piece of hitting there.
It was nice.
It was. Yeah, so Dickey just kind of, he just kind of took it with him, right? He just kind of said, I'm going to put it out there. And
just guided it out there to left field.
Yeah, and again, the throw to the cutoff man was a little bit high. I think Tenney might have been out at third. The
was
shortstop didn't have to jump, right? If he doesn't jump to get that one, he might be out. But again, runners at second and third, just 1 out here. Braden Williams with a chance. He hits a little flare out over the shortstop, and the catch is made. So 2 outs now in the bottom of the third inning. And that's going to bring up the leadoff man, Kason Brooks. So Tabor falls off to the left side of the mound really hard.
Yeah.
And so you could get a bunt down to this third base side because that third baseman is covering. I mean, that might be something I saw, but it's going to be a ground ball to the third baseman. He picks it up on a hop. He throws to first in time for the out. So that's going to do it for the third inning of play, but not before Kilgore puts 2 more on the board. Your score, 4-0 in favor of Kilgore. We're going to take a short break and be back for more action here on NETSN.
Okay, your price is like State Farm, but is your coverage?
How we do things might leave you shocked. Our claims aren't done right. Our process is rough. It's tough.
Can I get help from an agent?
No luck.
Do it online?
No luck.
An app?
No luck.
Take my phone. It's easy, I swear. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All right, welcome back. So top of the fourth inning here. Again, Shahan is now the DH. So he stays in the game to hit, which our app didn't change. I think we got lucky there.
No,
so
it's
that's
good. It didn't change down.
yeah. All right, so here's the pitch from Benson to Shahan. First pitch is lined out to center field. Brooks moves over to his right and makes the catch. So a little line out there to Brooks, and we got quickly 1 pitch, 1 out. That's the way you draw it up.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's going to bring up number 21, the first baseman, Cade Ross.
Especially as this game has progressed on, and early on you had a ton of pitches, and you've kind of gotten progressively better as each inning's gone on. And
yes.
One batter, 1 pitch. I'll take that all day.
For sure. Benson up to 65 on the game. Here's the pitch from him. Swing and a miss there. Good pitch. All right, here's the 0-1 from Benson. Misses low.
Definitely tell he took some off of that pitch.
Yeah.
His fastball's got a loud pop to it.
Yeah.
It comes back with that change.
That mic picks it up perfectly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, here's the 1-1. Oh, that one's low in the dirt. I think sometimes, I'll listen to a baseball game, like an MLB game, and I have Sirius XM, so you can pick up the games.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to tell sometimes if it's the ball hitting the glove or the hitting the bat, right? Because it kind of sounds the same, because that wooden bat and the leather mitt doesn't sound much different on the radio. All right, that one's fouled out. I'll play off to our right. So sometimes I'm like, and they're like, ball. I was like, okay, didn't hit it. It's hard to tell. It's kind of the same thing here. Like that one earlier we had, it sounded like somebody was hitting with a wooden bat. I think
Almost make you think like, man, how did they do it back in the day with just radio?
Oh, it's crazy. I know.
Just everybody gathered around, listening to the game.
All right, here's the 2-2 from Benson. Miles does his best to smother that one, but that was in the dirt well before the mound, and then took a skip to Miles's right there, and then bounced off him and went back to the left. So that was like a
he's thrown that pitch a couple times, so it's a weird breaking pitch, but that one broke way too soon.
Here's the 3-2. He's going to miss low. Yeah, again, I think it's that same deal. I think he's aiming a little bit, right? Like sometimes you try to be too perfect.
I don't know if this is just me. I might go back to that fastball's been working for you. You've had a couple people looking.
Yeah.
You've also got him on a couple of your other pitches. I mean, maybe that breaking pitch isn't there tonight.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens.
So here's Roston Reed, the left fielder. He's 0 for 1. First pitch outside for a ball. So now Benson having just a little trouble finding the spot. And again, he's on the left side of the plate there too. Yep. So when you miss left, it's a long way. Or his left, our right, it's a long way
out.
Yeah. Benson comes set, comes home. Ump says just low, so 2 balls, no strikes. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't, we would love nothing more than for you to hit that subscribe button. The subscribe button lets you chat with us, but it also lets you know when we go live. So it gives you a way to stay up to date, whether it's football next fall or it's basketball in the winter or baseball and softball. You'll know when we go live, and you'll get that update, and then you can look and see if that's somebody you want to watch and tune in. And so
we should ask Brett. We doing a live broadcast for the draft too.
Yeah. Yeah, we should.
We got a broadcast for everything else.
Let's put a camera on KO and see what we can get. All right, so 2 balls, 1 strike here. Be a foul ball. So that one comes off the netting, and it comes back down. That thing went off to the right and came back down the middle. A little plinko.
Right in that 10,000 spot.
That's right. Come on, big money. All right, so 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here, top of the 4th inning. Again, runner at first base, and here's the pitch. And swing and a miss. So that is strikeout number 4 for Benson, another Tara Harris State Farm strikeout. And we have 2 outs here in the inning. That's going to bring up number 12, Tate Pope, the center fielder.
I'm telling you, I'm going back to that fastball. I'm working inside out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think coming inside gives you a little bit more room to go outside. If you start outside, you don't get the bite that you might get on somebody taking the swing here. So Benson comes set, comes home. Little ground ball there. Clayton picks it up. He throws to first. It's high, but Edney's got plenty of range, and he picks it up. So a quick 5-3 put out, and that's going to do it for the top of the 4th inning. We're going to take a short break and be back for the bottom of the 4th inning here on NETSN. All right, welcome back. Bottom of the fourth inning, Jeremy Diamond, Jeremy Titsworth for NETSN. And again, Colton Hale up to bat here. He's 1 for 1 officially tonight. So he looked to do the same. Again, he had a sacrifice bunt in the first and then a single in the third inning. That first pitch is inside. Yeah. Miles is probably going to yell, "Let it hit you," because they were telling him the same, right?
That's what I would think. But
yeah. All right.
Colton got the swing away while ago. So
that's true.
His last at bat. So
little ground ball to the third baseman. He scoops. Throw goes over to first in time for the out. No, you're right. Yeah. It's easy to, and again, it's easy to say from the dugout, "Let it hit you," right? That's easy when you're not the one watching it come in there.
I'm telling you, though, right now, though, I think I'm waiting on pitches just because we've seen so few strikes. And, and if I'm seeing this in the dugout, I'm telling the rest of it, like, hey, guys, wait on a good pitch.
Yeah, make him throw one or two over. All right, so Kason Clayton up here. He's 1 for 2. He swings at the first one. Again, that was inside and would have been a ball. And Tabor's got an interesting delivery, completely different from the starter, right?
So that may be another thing, too. It just looks different coming off.
That's a loud shot out to center field. Deep center field. The center fielder ranges back and camps under and makes the catch. Just hung up a little bit there in the night sky. So Pope's able to track it down and make the catch. That's going to be 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And that's going to bring up the cleanup man, the first baseman tonight, number 6, Kason Edney. And again, Edney 0 for 2 on the day. Like to get off the schneid here and keep this inning alive for the Bulldogs. That one's in the dirt. Ooh, that one stung. Again, the umpire does a great thing there, walking out and throwing the ball out, right? Give the catcher a chance to catch his breath. And
how many times have we seen the pitchers getting hit by
I know, these catchers have been taking a beating tonight. So you tell me you want to be a catcher.
It's already tough when your knees squat down there all game, guys.
That's right. That's right. Well, I had that 13-inning affair in White House and Lufkin, and both catchers caught all 13 innings. I was like, dude, if I did that, I'd be in a hospital. Like, my knees wouldn't bend for a week.
I'm going to need some ice bags when I get back to the dugout.
For sure. All right, here's the pitch. Outside. So 1 ball, 1 strike.
I was about to say it should be 2. I don't know why I didn't calculate.
Yeah, I think 2. I think you're right.
I think it's 2-1.
That one's in the dirt, so another ball there.
There it is.
Yeah, the umpire gave a count. I was trying to see. I got a little bit of a glare. I couldn't quite tell, but I think it is 3-1. We'll find out here in a second. All right, here's the pitch. It's a called strike there. He does it quick.
He's so quick on that call.
It's lower than his shoulders too, which makes it hard. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop. He scoops. Throw goes to first. No, it doesn't.
Did not.
He bobbled it. So another bobble there. So error by the shortstop. And that's going to put a runner at first.
That's the 3rd error I have on Carthage tonight.
Yeah. Second for sure. That one, like you and I talked about at center field, is real tough.
I'm giving that one.
You are.
I'm grading that one tough.
Jason Cavazos would have given that one too. Jaron would have said. Jaron had given.
Oh, that was a tough hit ball. Like.
Yeah, he wouldn't have given an error for sure. All right, so Henry's up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. It's a ground ball to the third baseman. Third baseman scoops, throws to first. It's high, but the first baseman does a good job of bringing it down, and that's going to do it for the 4th inning. So a little 5-3 put out. And again, your score is 4-0 in favor of Kilgore. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back for more action here on NETSN.
Okay, your price is like State Farm, but is your coverage?
How we do things might leave you shocked. Our claims aren't done right. Our process is rough. It's tough.
Can I get help from an agent?
No luck.
Do it online?
No luck.
An app?
No luck.
Take my phone. It's easy, I swear. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All right, welcome back. Fifth inning here. Jeremy Diamond, Jeremy Titsworth for NETSN. Again, 4-0 in favor of Kilgore. Brody Benson up for a fifth inning of work here, and he's going to face off against the right fielder Travis Lipsy. Lipsy's 0 for 1. First pitch misses just outside for a ball, so they're going to go Lipsy, Rains, and Payne. I feel like we just did this not that long ago. Same
Seems
three
like it.
guys. Yeah, we were talking about the same thing. All right, here's the 1-0 from Benson. Ground ball goes to the second baseman Barnhart. He's got sure hands. He makes the scoop. Oh, I think the out was given, and then I think on the relay there, Edney dropped it. So it is an out. So a little 4-3 put out.
No, it wasn't this game. I was going to say, didn't we see that? But I think that was at one of my other games I saw. Whereas they got the out at first, but they were just during the relay throwing it around, and they dropped it like, oh, he dropped it. Like,
Right.
Wait a minute. The ump's already called out now. Come on, guys.
I think we had one similar to that in Gilmer. Remember, that was the one where he came off the base.
That's what
and
it
then
was. It was the Gilmer
It was
game.
the tag,
Okay.
and then it was like he took
That's
3
what it
steps,
was.
and then the ball dropped, and they
Yep.
were like, he dropped it. All right, so 1-0 here. That pitch was outside from Benson.
Couldn't remember if it was one of my other games. I mean, they all blending together.
After you do a few, they do.
Well, that was the week I did 3 games that week.
There you go. All right, the 1-0. That was the one where post-game you called me because there was an accident in the parking lot.
Dude, that was insane.
Somebody tanked somebody else's car and took off from Gilmer. Said, we're out. Nobody will find us. All right, Benson goes into the windup for the 1-1. Fouled off the netting there.
Oh. Are we hanging on?
We are. We hung in there. Mr. Applegate looked back. It actually hung on. He did a better job than I did of getting it steady. I'm telling you.
Tighten these zip ties a little bit.
I know. I feel like I'm going to have to like buy a camera that just stays mounted all the time or something. Swing and a miss there. Drop third strike, but throw goes down from Applegate to first in time for the out. So that's the 5th strikeout for Benson, another Tara Harris State Farm strikeout. And that's going to put 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning, and that's going to bring up Kinsler Payne, number 5. I didn't want to interrupt his flow. He was killing it over there. So Kinsler Payne.
3rd time up, right?
That's right, yeah. And I think he's walked both times.
Both, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so he's led off the game with a walk and then led off, I believe, the 3rd inning with a walk. And so Benson's due to put him out here. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Maybe I shouldn't have said something. Maybe I jinxed it. I don't know. Benson sitting around 84 pitches by our count, so climbing up here a little bit.
I'd say give or take 2 either way.
Yeah. Strike there. So 1 ball, 1 strike. And again, I think you've been right on tonight. I think, maybe we missed 1, but not much, if any. So, all right, the 1-1 from Benson in the dirt, ball 2.
Well, it's tough at some of these at-bats when there's like 8 or 9 foul balls. Like, geez, what are we doing, guys?
Yeah, that's the hardest one to know for sure you tapped unless you're looking at the pitch count to see it change because it doesn't show up. Here's the 2-1. Just misses that one, so 3 balls, 1 strike.
Maybe that's another suggestion, too. We could have it where pitch count, we can see it in the stat human form.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So you can see the same.
Yep.
Make sure it registers. All right, so 3-1 delivery from Benson. He goes into, time is called. Benson's going to throw it home anyway. You're already in your windup, might as well.
It's the craziest thing, like that late getting time granted. Like,
yeah.
It's never a guarantee. Like, that's the biggest thing I've always noticed. But here lately, the umps have been granting it. So
yeah. Here's the 3-1 again. Ground ball. Third baseman Clayton scoops. He throws to first. Man, what a frozen rope there from Case and Clayton. So 5-3 put out's going to do it for the top of the 5th inning. Your score still remains the same, 4-0 in favor of the Kilgore Bulldogs. We're going to take a break and be right back for more action here on NETSN. All right, welcome back. Again, we have a pitching change. So third pitcher of the night here for the Carthage Bulldogs is going to be number 14, Andrew Gwynn. And he's facing Miles Applegate. Miles is 0 for 1 with a walk. And again, if patterns hold here, Kilgore's due to score a couple of runs because they scored 2 in the first, 2 in the third, and now we're in the fifth. So
They're like the odd innings.
Yeah, like every other. It's a foul flare there. It's going to get on top of the roof above us.
Another interesting release point for this pitcher.
Yeah, kind of again, 3 righties in a row, but each one's look different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the pitch. So 2 balls, 1 strike. He's kind of compact, like it's coming. His arm is lower.
Yeah.
The last guy felt like his arm was out. This is kind of behind a little bit. It's a little bit harder to see. Got a good whip to it. Fouls that one off. Hits the netting. Oh, Benson. He went to make the fancy catch there and didn't make it. I'm sure he'll get a hard time for that one when he walks. Yeah, they're already saying something. It's the best thing about baseball, right? When somebody does something, you get to razz them a little bit.
Especially when you try to do a little too much with it, a little fancy catch there.
Yeah, you can't miss those. All right, here's the 2-2 to Applegate. Oh, called third strike there. So strikeout number 1 there for Gwynn. And that's going to bring up, again, the aforementioned Brody Benson. And I think the difference here, too, like, Benson's done a good job of eating innings, right? He's gone through 5, and again, high on the pitch count, but they haven't had to bring relievers in.
No,
right? And again,
yet.
the 4-0 lead helps, but swing and a miss for strike 1. And again, they've got I believe, a tune-up game on Friday against Hooks at 6 p.m. As was the rumor on the street, I think, here at Driller. That one's outside, so 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here. Bottom of the 5th inning.
Seemed like Gwynn was throwing straight heat till that one took some off, 1 outside.
Yeah. Here's the 1-1. Ooh, that one stayed inside. I think Benson, for about a half second there, thought it was going to plunk him. I believe Welk is their other starting pitcher that they normally would use, so maybe they're saving him for the playoff run or whatever, or maybe the tune-up game, but he's not pitching tonight. So 3-1.
We're just rotating, seeing some different pitchers. Maybe it's what Carthage is doing.
Again, Coach Goodwin was the coach here and then left for a little bit. It was an AP, and then they brought him back to coach. So he's the middle school AP and the baseball coach, which I think is that's a pretty sweet gig.
Yeah.
Although middle school is a little crazy, but
it could be. That's those young kids trying to get ready for high school.
Although I teach freshmen, and sometimes it's about the same. So
I'd say, aren't they still middle schoolers at that point?
Yeah, they're just taller. All right, so Jackson Dickey up again. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. Had that nice rip down the left field line. First pitch in there for a strike.
That was the pitch you wanted too.
Yeah, and again, we have the courtesy runner at first base. I believe that's Tenney. It is. So Devin Tenney is running in the place of Benson. Off-speed breaking pitch doesn't quite come over. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out.
See, you're missing out on fries. I saw you
know.
looking. I saw you looking.
I did. I was trying to see how many there were. It weren't quite enough for sharing. That's not the sharing bowl. That one's inside as well. Ball gets away into center field, but nothing doing. So 2 balls, 1 strike.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah. And it is dangerous. Tenney's got good speed too. He's
he does.
Not quite Brooks speed, but good speed nonetheless. And so I don't know. That's a guy you don't want to throw that too far away because he could get to third in a hurry.
Or let it roll to the wall and score 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depending on how hard you threw it.
I'm telling you. All right, so Gwynn looks in, gets the sign, comes set, checks the runner at second, comes home. It's a loud foul there for Dickey, out of play.
That foul ball is sponsored by Southern Supply.
All right, so 2-2 here to Dickey. 1 out, bottom of the 5th inning. Again, runner at second base. That pitch is well outside. Great job there by the catcher Soap of getting that one. Because
right now, if he doesn't.
Yeah, his arm's an inch and a half shorter, and that thing's on the wall and rolling out who knows where. Tinny might still be running. So great job there by Soap of getting a hold of that one. And again, kind of thing we've seen, right? Sometimes when the pitcher focuses on the runner, it tends to happen.
Man, what did he do to that camera to keep it up?
Yeah, I don't know. He just tightened it perfectly.
Look at him.
Yeah, like a glove. Mr. Applegate, the MVP.
Dude, that thing is like riding for dear life now.
Yeah, it is. It's just hanging on for everything. All right, here's the 3-2. Oh, and he swings at that one.
That
gets the strikeout. Yeah, he's got to let that one go. And I know it's hard, right, because it looked good coming out of the hand, and then it just died. All right, so 2 outs here. Bottom of the 5th inning. That's going to bring up Braden Williams, the left fielder. Again, he's 0 for 2 on the day. Somebody last year, I can't remember, I went to a game and they came out to "You Are My Sunshine." I thought that was an interesting one. I was like, okay. You know, not
Who
your
picks
normal.
these walk-up songs?
Yeah. Kind of an interesting one. All right, so strike one there to Williams. Man, I think they're fun, though. Like, I think walk-up songs are great because you get a little bit of personality of somebody, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you see a guy and then the song and you're like, I did not see those two together, right? It's kind of fun. All right, here's the 0-1. Off-speed pitch. It is a fly ball. The first baseman is going to camp underneath it and makes the catch. So pop out to first. And that's going to do it for the bottom of the 5th inning. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back for 6th inning action here on NETSN.
Okay, your price is like State Farm, but is your coverage?
How we do things might leave you shocked. Our claims aren't done right. Our process is rough. It's tough.
Can I get help from an agent?
No luck.
Do it online?
No luck.
An app?
No luck.
Take my phone. It's easy, I swear. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All right, welcome back. Top of the 6th inning. Again, Jeremy Diamond, Jeremy Titsworth for NETSN here in Driller Park, Kilgore, Texas. Brody Benson's going to be back for a 6th inning of work. Again, he's somewhere in that mid to upper 80s pitch count, so he's got room. Again, you can get to 110. Yeah. I don't know that they'll let him go that far, but I think this first batter is going to be a big key for Benson.
I think it's going to see how it goes. If it's a quick out, I would say. But at the same time, this is also the batter who has worked a ton of pitches out of him. I think him alone's probably gotten, 20, 25 pitches out of him?
I would assume probably somewhere in that range, 15 to 20 easy. Yeah, so I think this is an interesting matchup. But, again, I think you're right. I think the way this batter goes is going to be the way that Benson's night goes. I think if it's a lot of pitches or a struggle, then I think you see maybe Adames come in as the reliever here. All right, so Benson goes into the windup. It's a flare out to center field. Best thing that could have happened. Kason Brooks makes the catch. So 1 out, 1 pitch, 1 out. That's the way you want to draw it up if you're Brody Benson.
Said I'll take that. That's the shortest at bat he's given him all night.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other ones were like 10, 12 pitch at bats, and then that one's a 1 pitch. You'll take that. All right. So the catcher Brooks Soap up again. He's 0 for 2 on the evening. All right. Benson goes into his windup. The pitch. Great breaking pitch.
I mean, it baked and broke.
Yeah, so. It did both. It just sat there and boom. Great pitch there from Benson. All right, the 0-1. That one bounced in the dirt. Yeah, he kind of hung on to that one a little bit. Sometimes you try to get a little extra spin on it and you squeeze a little too hard. It doesn't come out of your hand right. It might have been a changeup there or something where a little deeper in the hand, a little bit harder to come out of it. So It's a foul ball out of play off to our right.
That foul ball is to be sponsored by Store Service.
All right. The 1-2. Oh, great breaking pitch there from
Nasty.
Benson. Gets him swinging. That's strikeout number 6, and another Tara Harris State Farm strikeout. That's going to be 2 outs here in the inning, and that's going to bring up the starting pitcher, now turned DH, Conrad Shahan. Shahan 0 for 2. First pitch, that off speed, he's feeling it now.
Yeah.
He says, that's where it's been. I got it. I'm
Man, I've
ready.
been waiting on that all night.
Yeah, you're like,
It's finally breaking.
yeah, all of a sudden you do one little thing and you're like, oh, there it is. All right, here's the 0-1. Strike 2. Man, he's grooving now. Yeah, he's feeling it. I think Coach said if you don't pitch well, it's probably the end. And so he said, okay, never mind. I got this. I got this. Benson dealing. Ready for the 0-2 here. Goes into his windup. He kicks. He comes home. Little off speed. It's a fly ball. Left fielder comes in. And unfortunately doesn't make the catch. Yeah, so you're going to have an error there on the left fielder. I think you probably should have let Hale have that one. That's enough that's close enough to the dirt that you let your shortstop make the play. And it was a late call off, but he called him off. And Hale did the right thing and got out of the way, and just a little timing issue there. So unfortunately for Benson, should have been the third out, but wasn't. And now Benson's got to kind of lock back in here, and he's going to be facing the first baseman, Cade Ross. And again, Ross is 0 for 1 with a walk. There's that off-speed pitch for a strike. Good slider there.
Yeah, I think that's a weird scenario, though, being outfielder calling off your shortstop, because you're running full speed in like that, and he's already backing up into it.
Right, yeah, and for as long as that hung up.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-1. It's a line shot out to the left fielder, Williams. He gets a late read, but he makes the catch. So he makes up for the error by catching a tough line out. And that's going to do it for the top of the 6th inning. Excuse me, that's the third out. There we go. That's what I was trying to say.
What you're trying to...
Top of the 6th inning. We're going to take a quick break and be back for bottom of the 6th here on NETSN.
Okay, your price is like State Farm, but is your coverage?
How we do things might leave you shocked. Our claims aren't done right. Our process is rough. It's tough.
Can I get help from an agent?
No luck.
Do it online?
No luck.
An app?
No luck.
Take my phone. It's easy, I swear. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All right, bottom of the 6th inning. We're going to lead off with the leadoff man, Kason Brooks. Brooks is 0 for 2 with a walk. So his 4th plate appearance tonight.
No better way to lead off.
You can get a little poison. Oh, that girl is,
Poison. No.
Yeah,
I'm not hitting that.
We're
that's
not,
a high note on that one.
That's why I stopped. I was like, if you can get it, get it.
No, brother.
So 1 ball, no strikes here. Man, it's those old school songs that bring you back, right? There's the 1-0, 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes. All right, here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss from Brooks, so 2 balls, 1 strike.
You were doing some junior high dancing to that song, weren't you?
Yeah. Somebody walking by with a ruler. Has to be at least a foot at distance. All right, here's the 2-1. Low for ball 3. All right, so Case and Brooks with a 3-1 count here. I think you have to be smart here and make him throw a strike.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's a 3-1. Called strike on the inside corner there. Brooks didn't think so. I'm not as certain either, but it was called.
Can you see from your angle there? Oh.
Yeah, it looked a little inside, but it's hard. We're not quite centered, so that one is definitely inside.
That one strike? Oh, my bad.
Yeah, so that's definitely inside for the walk. So that puts Brooks on the base pass again. That's going to bring up Colton Hale. Again, Hale's 1 for 2. He had the sack bunt, and I would not be shocked if there was another sack bunt here.
I mean, I don't know. Hale's done a good job about swinging away the last few
Yeah.
times. So, I mean, to me, I'm about to see what you get.
Either way, but again, nobody out here.
No.
So not a terrible idea here to try to move Brooks, or maybe like a little hit and run or something. Here's the pitch. Brooks takes off. No, he doesn't. Oh, great job there by Brooks deking. So ball 1. I think Soap was ready. He
He was.
He said, "I know what."
He was already standing on that one.
All right, Gwynn comes set, comes home. Breaking pitch there. Good pitch by him for a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike. That one had that had vertical and horizontal movement on it.
That's what you want.
So foul ball there.
Gives the catcher a little bit more time.
Yeah.
He said, Vera Wang? We got rings out here? Jewelry?
Addresses? I don't know. They do all kinds of stuff. All right, so 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Hale. Again, bottom of the 6th inning. Your score 4-0 in favor of Kilgore. Gwynn comes set, comes home. That one stays inside and high for ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here. A little hit and run. Hale let it get a little bit too deep on in there. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're going to reset again. Brooks going to run all 87 feet back to first base.
Let me jog this one out.
Yeah. Get a little warm up in. And both these guys, both Brooks and Hale, are 2 of the 8 seniors on this team. Throw goes over to first. A little bit wide. Great job by the first baseman there, Ross, of keeping that in his glove, not letting it get out of the way. Because if that gets away, the right fielder didn't even move. I don't know if you saw, but
he didn't.
I don't think he knew the throw over went over to first. Or
I don't think he was paying attention to that. Picking flowers out there in the outfield or something.
Yeah, 2-2, giving those right fielders a bad name. Oh, Hale chased one out of the zone.
Man.
You know, they always put that kid in right field in T-ball because he was out there picking flowers.
That's why I threw that in there.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Giving all right fielders a bad name. All disgruntled comments, please send to Jeremy Titzler.
No.
All right, so Case and Clayton up. Again, he's 1 for 3. Again, Brooks at first base. Pitch comes in. Called strike on the outside corner.
Okay.
So you want the hat tap there?
Yeah. About an
All
inch
right,
off.
so 0-1. It's a loud shot out to center field. Center fielder camps under it. It hangs up in the air. It's kind of moving around a little bit, but he makes the catch. Forces Brooks back to first base. So fly out to the center fielder. They've kept Pope busy tonight a few times.
A couple times.
That one he kind of ran deeper, and then again I think the humidity is that ball is just kind of hanging up there. All right, that's going to bring up Kason Edney. He's 0 for 3 on the day. No, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No,
there.
you're good.
My
I'm just
fault.
saying it was floating out there.
Yeah, it was. It did. It just kind of hung out there. He took off backwards. And he was like, wait a minute, it's not going as deep as I thought. Pitch 1 is low for a ball. All right, the 1-0 from Gwynn. Runner goes. Throw down to second. And they got him. Edney probably should have swung or something there to help that happen. But, again, Brooks is thrown out attempting to steal by the tag there. That's going to do it for the 6th inning of play. So we're going to go to the top of the 7th. Benson's going to be back on the mound. It looks like he's going to try to close this one out and get the complete game here. All right, so we're going to take a break. We'll be back with 7th inning action.
Yeah,
here
let's
on
do
NETSN.
it.
All right, welcome back. Top of the 7th inning. Benson's job is to close the door. Again, if Carthage doesn't score at least 4, this will do it for the game here. So Carthage is down to their last 3 outs, and that's going to be looks like that's Roston Reed, the left fielder. He hits the first pitch out deep center field. Brooks is ranging back, and it's over his head. That does not happen very often. And so a leadoff double.
Okay. Guess that's how you get something cooking early.
Yeah, so Roston Reed sees the first pitch. He likes it, and he sends it. And I think that's going to do it for Benson. Yep. Again, I think it's kind of like last inning. I think if that first out had gone smoothly, I think he might have stayed a little bit longer. But what a fantastic night for Brody Benson. He's done a phenomenal job. So we're going to see what happens here, where the changes go. So it looks like, hey, ooh. Miles was not ready. Colton Hale was. Miles wasn't ready there, so we're going to. Yeah, so we're going to kind of see what happens here. My guess is that Clayton goes to short, and I think that Brody Smith will probably go to third, but I don't know for sure. We'll kind of see what happens. Let's take a short break.
Okay.
We'll come back, and we'll give you an update on where everybody is and who's where right after this on NETSN.
Okay, your price is like State Farm, but is your coverage?
How we do things might leave you shocked. Our claims aren't done right. Our process is rough. It's tough.
Can I get help from an agent?
No luck.
Do it online?
No luck.
An app?
No luck.
Take my phone. It's easy, I swear. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All right, so Jeremy, we had some lineup changes again. We have a new pitcher, so give us a quick update if you can.
Well, Hale came in slid over from shortstop, is now pitching, and then Clayton on third slid over to short, and then we brought in Brody Smith.
Yes, Brody Smith.
Brody Smith off the bench, playing third now.
Okay, so
a few little changes.
Yeah, and again, Edney's going to stay at first. So
yeah.
Benson done for the evening, and again, it pitched a masterful game. I mean, you'd love to see him close it out.
Yeah, no, because right at the end of the last inning, though, prior to this, him pitching, he finally got some breaking pitches working. So.
Yeah, and we know what Colton's specialty is. It's that frisbee. First pitch from him in the dirt, so ball 1. I always think this is the weird spot to come in when you go from short to pitcher, right? Like, it's just a change.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you're coming in, you've been in the bullpen getting warmed up to throw, but he had about 10 pitches to be ready to go. And, again, he's warm because he's been playing, but not the same as being warm from the mound. So time is called. Again, this is Tate Pope, the center fielder. And I really mean this. I really think that double was the first pitch I've seen get over Brooks' head all year, at least any game I've seen.
I think he was just playing a little too shallow for it.
Oh, what a rip down the line. That is a fair ball. That's going to score a run. Throw's going to come in. Cutoff is missed. So nobody there for the cutoff. And that's going to put the runner at second. So and now the runner moves to third on that because it did go into the dugout. So,
because it rolled over there to the dugout.
Right.
Okay.
So
I didn't think about that.
No, I didn't either. But, so runner at third base. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Travis Lipsy. So Lipsy 0 for 2 on the day. And, again, 4-1 now your score. Again, that was a rip. I mean, that ball was 4 inches inside the baseline, and it stayed in that same spot all the way. There's that Frisbee. So strike one.
You talk about being the tough thing going from short to pitching. Now all of a sudden you got to figure out where the strike zone is too. That's another thing in itself. And
and again, you had, Edney was trying to cover first, and the throw came in hard, and so he was trying to figure that out, and then there was no backup, and then Miles didn't see it, right? And so kind of just a weird play, right? Like a weird thing that happened. And again, gets runner at third with nobody out here. Top of the 7th inning again. Carthage has got to score 4 to keep this thing going. They've got 1 so far. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. Misses just low and outside on that one. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Again on the night, Carthage has 2 hits and Kilgore's got 5. There it is, strike 3. So the first strikeout for Colton Hale. And that's a Terry Harris State Farm strikeout. That's 1 away here, top of the 7th inning. And that's going to bring up the second baseman, Kason Raines. Raines is 0-2 on the day.
And usually the way Hale pitches, I would not be surprised if it's
Frisbee. Yeah, I mean it.
Yeah.
And then he says, I tricked you
this.
on the throw fastball. Yeah. That's what we get for trying to guess. Again, Hale had a no-hitter earlier in the year, 15 strikeouts. He came back in the next game and had 10. And a win over Gilmer. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here. Again, runner at third base is the center fielder, Pope. Here's the pitch. There it is, that little Frisbee. Again, that sweeper that he's done, again, all year, no one's been able to really do anything with it.
It's a phenomenal pitch.
It is. Time is called. Misses with that one, so 2-2. All right, the 2-2 delivery. And there it is, sweeper looking. Strikeout number 2, another Terry Harris State Farm strikeout. And Carthage is down to their final out. And Kinsler Payne up to bat again. He's 0 for 1 with 2 walks. he had 2 walks to start the game, then he hit that fly ball out to Brooks in the last time he was up. So he's got to be the guy that keeps this one going for Carthage. First pitch he sees is a fastball high, ball 1.
Yeah, I really thought Hale was going to come in with maybe a sweeper or something there.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same. I didn't want to say it and jinx it, so pretend like I didn't
Not
say
like the previous batter?
Yeah. Here's the 1-0. There it is, man. I'm telling you.
They just watch it come in.
Yeah, Payne was ready to go to first base on that. He's like, I'm getting plunked. And then all of a sudden it's over the plate. It's crazy. And again, we talk about it every time, but if you're not here live, I mean, even the camera is hard to tell, but it has got so much movement. Here's the 1-1. Gets strike 2 on the outside corner. Great job there. Great job by Applegate of letting the umpire see where that came in. So Carthage is down to their final strike. It's up to Kinsler Payne to keep this game alive and Colton Hale to shut the door. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Little flare out to right field. And the catch is made. So great job there by Dickey. And you know what? That's it.
That's it. That's all she wrote.
Hey, what a great game. Again, Kilgore comes out on top 4-1, avenging an earlier loss in the district to Carthage. Again, both of these teams will be going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that'll start next week, so next weekend. So the first weekend of May is the start of playoffs. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you had as much fun as we did. A great ball game. Again, Brody Benson on the mound was really good. He did a great job.
Phenomenal.
Had a rough inning in the first one, but really kind of battled back and settled in. Like you said, that sixth inning was just money.
Yeah, it was. I think he finally got some breaking pitches working late, and I really thought they were going to let him finish the game, but why not just go ahead and bring Hale in, close it down.
And again, Colton Hale with a save there. Had a runner at third, so they could have done some damage there. And so a great ball game all the way around. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next time on NETSN. But again, have a good evening, and we'll see you next time. Have a great evening, and we'll see you.
The Northeast Texas Sports Network is dedicated on delivering the most entertaining sports broadcasts in East Texas. And if you're interested in having your next sporting event streamed live, visit us online at NETSN.